Getting 100% completion and the Platinum Trophy for Spider-Man 2 is very manageable, although some trophies definitely require a bit more explanation than others. We'll have the locations for certain trophies and no story spoilers of course in this video. I'm also happy to report that there are no missable trophies either, so you can just spend your time enjoying the characters and the amazing set pieces without having to worry that you are missing a collectible or something. There are also no difficulty related trophies, so even though you do unlock the ultimate difficulty on your first story completion, that is simply for if you want the extra challenge but not required for the Platinum Trophy. And since New Game Plus will be added after launch, you can also get every single trophy required for the Platinum in a single playthrough. So like I said, very manageable, although there are definitely some trophies that require some extra instructions or directions, and you can also often kill two birds with one stone by making sure you perform specific actions during specific activities. And this already starts with the main story, which you of course need to play for the story trophies and the activities you unlock that also have trophies tied to them. But if you make smart use of your time here, you can already work towards some of the combat and stealth related trophies too. One you definitely want to keep in mind during the story is the Slackline trophy, which has you perform 25 stealth takedowns using your new webline gadget. To clarify, that means the perch takedowns you perform with square, not the web strike takedowns performed with triangle. 25 is not that many and you'll have plenty of opportunities to take a stealthy approach during the story. However, if like me, you dive into combat the first opportunity you get, you probably need to do some stealth takedowns on the side to get the trophy. Hunter bases are the ideal activity for this, as they have a lot of enemies and are designed with stealth in mind, especially the one in Harlem in my opinion. While you can still get the trophy from regular crimes if you've exhausted your other options, it is much easier during main story missions or while infiltrating a hunter base. The same is true for some of the combat focused trophies like Armed and Dangerous, that has you defeat 100 enemies with Peter's new spider arm abilities. You can definitely complete this objective by grinding out crimes, but you'll see much larger groups of enemies in combat heavy story missions or if the alarms go off in a hunter base. You also have to defeat enemies with symbiote abilities while you are using your ultimate symbiote search to get the Surge trophy. And Miles has a similar trophy called Evolved, where you have to take out 100 enemies with his evolved venom powers. None of these trophies are hard to unlock, but you can easily get both during the story instead of having to grind for them after like I did. And there's more we need to do. Of course, if you've enjoyed the video so far, be sure to leave a like as it really helps us out, and subscribe to not miss our next Spider-Man 2 video. So after completing the story, your next objective on the road to Platinum is to 100% every district on the map. This is mostly going to take some time. The objectives are very self-explanatory, and each district of course has a neat list with which activities you can find there and how many of them there are. What is good to know is that the Mysterium activities, even though there are multiple tiers of rewards depending on your performance, only need to be completed once. You don't need to get the max ranking, just making it to the end of one is enough for it to count towards map completion. Now the only part where you might run into some trouble if you want to 100% a district is when you're looking for all of the spider bots in an area, as these do not appear with an icon on the map. You can still see how many are located in a district thankfully, and they also give off this very visible pulse every couple of seconds, which makes them easy to spot from a distance. So what I did is find a high building in the district, launch myself off with slingshot launch, and then use the web wings to observe the district from up high. This makes it super easy to spot the spider bots, and as an added benefit, some are stuck quite high in the air, so if you want to grab those, you need a high vantage point anyway. Other than that, getting 100% map completion is very simple, and completing all activities nets you a ton of trophies, including the superior one for when you finally complete the whole map. By that time, you will have hit the max level of 60 and should have more than enough resources to craft all suits, suit tech upgrades, and gadget upgrades, as these all have a trophy tied to them as well. There are just a couple of trophies left now, although these last ones can be tricky to figure out on your own. Like the Soar Trophy for instance, which reads, using only your web wings, glide from the financial district to Astoria, and wind tunnels are okay. That last addendum is going to be a major help, as wind tunnels of course propel you forward at high speed without losing altitude. There's actually a network of wind tunnels that will easily take us to where we need to go for the trophy, so to start we go over here in the financial district. If you look towards the east, you will see the first wind tunnel, so make your way through it using the web wings and ride it all the way to the river. As soon as you reach the end of the first tunnel, look to your right to spot the next one, fly over and ride it all the way across the river. If you ride this one out, you've pretty much made it all the way to Astoria, but just to be sure, there is a third wind tunnel to your right that you can ride until you are in the district proper. So as you see, if you take the right route, this is a super easy trophy to get. And let's stay on this side of the river actually, as there's another trophy we can grab that requires a bit more explanation. For the home run trophy, which reads round the bases at the Big Apple Baller Stadium, we want to of course find this baller stadium first. It is located next to the Coney Island Park in downtown Queens on the southern side of the island. Both the stadium and the ride stick out, so they're easy to find, and then it's just a matter of running past all 4 bases on the field. This can be done with both Peter and Miles, and both will offer some funny commentary when you complete your home run as well. Now on to some more personal matters, as Miles and Peter both have an Easter egg trophy that can only be completed as them specifically. For Miles, it's reminiscing about the events that happened in his game by finding the science trophy he won with Finn. It's located on the tower of the iconic church that you visit a lot during Miles Morales as well, over here in the financial district. Simply going over here and interacting with the object will be enough to get the Just Let Go trophy. For Peter's trophy, you know what to do. We want to head all the way north to Harlem to this point of the map. There's a cemetery here where we can find the graves of May and Ben Parker to pay our respects. It's located under a tree near the back of the cemetery, and the interact prompt shows up from pretty far away, so it shouldn't be too difficult to find. There's actually a bit more going on here, although it's not required for a trophy. But Jefferson Davis, Miles' father, is also buried here, and you can interact and reminisce at his grave too. You can also come here as Miles and pay your respects, but if you just want the trophy, you need to visit May's grave as Peter. Now let's talk about something a little bit more lighthearted, and another super easy trophy to grab you might forget, which is Splat. In order to get this one, you simply need to hit the ground while performing a trick, which will trigger a crash landing and unlock the trophy the first time you do it. So you can't just jump anywhere, try a trick, and then fail spectacularly. Or you can create an alternate version of the iconic Leap of Faith scene where Miles is just not ready to become the next Spider-Man yet. But obviously, there's not just a trophy for failing an air trick, because you also need to get Hang 10 if you want the platinum. This trophy requires you to perform 30 air tricks in a row without touching the ground, which is a lot easier than it sounds, because while you are not allowed to touch the ground, swinging is okay. So what I recommend is finding a high spot on the map, like the Avengers Tower over here in Upper East Side. Then leap off and perform as many tricks as you can, but keep an eye on the ground because we want to transition into a swing at the right time. And then it's just a matter of releasing your swing as late as possible to get you high into the air. More airtime means more tricks, which should help you easily get the Hang 10 trophy. And with all those tips, you should be more than ready to grab the platinum trophy. Let me know if you did in the comments, and of course leave a like if the video was helpful. Don't forget to subscribe, as we got more Spider-Man 2 videos in the works, and if you want, you can watch our previous video on all suits in the game by clicking on the screen. I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.